Today is the fifth Sunday of the month, so I decided myself that we can have interfaith Sunday service. So I want to hear everyone's idea, what they believing in. But today is like internal guidance from our elder sister, Bishop Elaine, and our sister Venita. They have this kind of heart in connection with our heavenly parent, we call God, and also our two parents. But my presentation today is what is really our faith or practices as Ohio Family Church, or under the umbrella of Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Maybe some of us is new today, like my sister, that I will share something about our movement. So please bear with me because I just want to share what is the most important traditions that Family Federation for World Peace is doing. The next slide. Yeah, many of you, especially Bishop, they knew our founders is Father and Mother Moon, and we call them two parents of humanity. And next. And this is the most important part of our movement, the blessing of marriage. This is the starting point why our movement, the Family Federation for World Peace, is unique among all the religious organizations all throughout the world, although many religions do marriage. But we called our marriage the blessing marriage. So in that time, 1960, maybe some of you or many of us knows the history of the blessing marriage. It started 1960 by through through Father Reverend Moon and our mother Han Hakcha. So this is the blessing that they did. It's old picture, but it is very meaningful to all of us who follow the path of the Family Federation for World Peace. That is the unique presentation that I can say of who we are as Family Federation movement. Next. And originally, God's dream for all of us is one family. Religion was not existing in the Garden of Eden. It's only God and Adam and Eve. That was the original plan of God. So that's one family with God in our own personal life. But until now, this dream was not realized because of the mistake and failure of the first man and woman in history. So, and then because of the inspiration of Father and Mother Moon, centering upon family for the restoration of individual, they receive revelation from Heavenly Parent or from Jesus, and then Father Moon followed what Jesus wanted him to do in history. So that's why there is a marriage blessing. Next. And the teaching that we are sharing in history of our movement is the divine principle. The divine principle teaches that God is the creator who created everything in preparation for the ideal world and the ideal family. It is our responsibility to extend God's ideal. So we are the embodiment of the dream of God to realize that God's ideal through our family, from individual to family, and it can be realized in this world. That is the principle that we learn from the teaching of Father and Mother Moon. The next. In history, you can see that kind of church. Father Moon started a church building the curtains, through curtains, that kind. I was there when I was in Korea, but it is already secluded in a special place. So that was 1951. He started his ministry in Busan, 1951, and that his original church. And then as it progressed, many members joined. But I just want to share with you how God is working behind the life of Father Moon and Mother Moon. They started in this situation, but as you can see, the worldwide accomplishment of Father and Mother Moon is amazing. Our movement just started officially in 1954. So we are over 70 years. But if you can view what is going on in the world that started by Father and Mother Moon, you will feel amazed. Many accomplishments. That's why we have the opportunity to be together with Bishop Azan and Sister Venita, even though they came from other religious background, but we are one here today because of the foundation that Father and Mother Moon laid for interfaith, that we are one family under God. That's why we have this opportunity to be together as a family. Amen? Or adieu. So this is just a simple introduction. You see the pictures, very beautiful picture in the media. But for me, this is very important because it started from the very humble beginning as through Father. So everything is from the humble beginning, but from that, you can see how God is working in our movement. We are only 70 years over compared to other religion, but the accomplishment that Father and Mother Moon have done in history is amazing. So, let's see. And then the most amazing thing that our two parents have done, how our two parents lead the world, is when they visited North Korea and Russia. Many of you knows that the work of Father Moon is anti-communism, the God-denying ideology. But because of his mission and promise to God, and he is always saying, love your enemy, he went there. Although there is so much threat in his life when he is fighting communism in history. But because of his love to God and because of his principle, love your enemy, he sacrificed himself together with his family. Mother Moon was with him when he visited Kim Il Sung in the year 1991, and also in Russia when he met Gorbachev. This is the history that, for me, as a member of Family Federation for World Peace, is amazing because they live on what they are taught to us, living and loving your enemy. So the next. And this is the word that I got, what they inspired me. What kind of lives do people need to lead to become leaders of peace in a great revolutionary era? We need a life of gratitude. And number two, we need to live a life of forgiveness. We need to live a life of love. And we need to live a life of unity. That's why we are here today for the interfaith. If we understand one another, we can understand to be united, centering upon God and centering upon the purpose why God created us. And that point, we can be united. And also life of love, like Reverend Moon showed us, that he loved Kim Il Sung and Gorbachev when he was alive on earth, even until now. And as you can see and hear it maybe, that Mother Moon is in detention center until now. But she never asked us to pray for her liberation. But she is asking us to pray for the world and for our own self, and for the fulfillment of the mission of the Family Federation for World Peace. So she taught us also to be grateful every day in our life. And I think that is her life now in that detention center. So that this is the kind of words that, for me, when I'm reading it, I just summarize it by 4 points. What character or personality I should live in this era. We have so much conflict. Even our religion, Christian, Islam, we are fighting. And even we are killing one another, like what happened in history, like recently. But that is not our focus, as Bishop mentioned. We need to focus on God. Amen. So that is the main point. If we are going to focus on what is going on in our surroundings, there is trouble. in our own individual faith. We cannot be the person that can manifest of who we are, the believers of God. Like in the song that they sang today, I am the child of God. If we lost this kind of mentality, I think our life will be in mess, even we believe that there is God. So let's focus our mind on it, and then let's manifest the life that we wanted to be. So, next. And then the most important part in the most holy sacrament that we are following in our movement is the marriage blessing. This is the most important. Maybe you saw it in internet, or most of us participated in this blessing, the marriage blessing. So you can see who can do that in history. Did you hear some religious leaders doing this marriage? No. That is my pride as a member of the Family Federation for World Peace. Because marriage should not be secretive. It should be public because you are proud that you are married man or married woman. Don't you think so? That's why originally God created us, manifesting the femininity and masculinity. If God wanted only woman, she will just create woman. And if she likes to create men, he will just create men. But why God created two identity of man and woman? There is purpose for eternity. So this is what we are doing now with Father and Mother Moon when he was alive on earth. But until now, Mother Moon is continuing this way, blessing of marriage. So this is one pride that I am carrying on me. Next. And this is the marriage blessing ceremony. Why it is very important to us. The first commandment of God in Genesis 1:28, God said, "Be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion." And it was given to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. The marriage blessing ceremony of the Unification Church movement is the most sacred and precious event in human history. It is because the blessing imparts heavenly parents spiritual reality, and allows a man and a woman to embody it as one flesh. That's why we have many rules on marriage. It is the veritable marriage supper of the Lamb of which the Bible speaks, as what all of us is expecting, that Jesus will come back on earth to do the marriage blessing of the Lamb. But through Father and through Mother have done that in history already. So the marriage blessing tradition places true love above considerations of appearance and social status. And that is true, my brothers and sisters, who receive blessing from our true Father and true Mother, beyond status, beyond the beauty of each and everyone. And then again, there is why we marry. My next slide. Why we marry. What do you think we are marrying? Just to be one with a husband or a woman? But there is very important part why we are getting married. So it is to reflect the image of God. God embodies dual characteristics. The two aspects are perfectly united with invisible female nature. These two aspects are perfectly united within God as one harmonious being of oneness. Is personality itself representing one half of God's dual characteristics, is distinct and complementary to the other. If the male and female personalities were identical, they would merely be duplicates, but they are different. Thus, as male and female, they must come together in complete unity, becoming like a seed, and return to the original nature of God. That's why, if there is union of men and women, there is seed within, and they can multiply like the plant, you know? There is seed and they can multiply. So that is the eternal purpose why God created man and woman. That's the reason why we are getting married, why we are campaigning for the married. For our single member, we are trying to encourage them to attend the marriage blessing, because that is the ultimate goal of all of us as heavenly parents creation, men and women. Even animal, they are multiplying too, even plants. So everything has a purpose for eternity, and that is the realization of God's dream, one family. Next. Thank you very much. And those are the most important part. The interfaith, that we can reach out everyone. That is one thing that I shared today, that our movement is doing through the inspiration of Father and Mother Moon. And the most maybe controversial is the holy marriage blessing worldwide. We are also campaigning for that. If you're interested, you can meet me. If you want to be matched or to be introduced, we will let you be on that. And if you're a married couple, you can also be a part of it. Huh? So, thank you, brothers and sisters.